After 3 years and a half, finally, a couple of months ago, I decided to start my very first SaaS tool. Well, I tried a couple of times before that, but well, I failed because the idea wasn't good and the timing wasn't good. And finally, I came up with an idea that I felt I can do it, and also I can continue working on that because sometimes the idea is good and you're motivated about that, you're excited about that, but after a while working on that, you feel that you don't have the motivation you need to work on it. You don't have the necessary passion to continue working on that. And that was the problem I had with previous ideas I had. But then when I came up with this idea, I felt that, well, this is it. I'm gonna do this. And well, after a few months, I'm quite happy with the decision I made, and the idea is good and I can continue with that. And in this video, I'd like to talk about the idea and basically how I came with that idea, where that idea came from. And this is what I'd like to talk about. There are a lot of things I'd want to talk about regarding creating a SaaS or starting your own startup and these kind of things. But in this video, my focus is going to be only on how I came up with this idea. So keep watching the video if you want to know how you can come up with your next idea. My name is Milad, and in this channel I share my experiences as an immigrant, as a developer, as a very small entrepreneur. I tried a couple of times, I came up with a couple of ideas to launch my own startup basically as a developer, but it's really hard. You need to find the right idea, you need to have the time for that to continue working on that, because sometimes it's really easy to just start a project. It's just to come up with an MVP, but after a few weeks, after a few months working on a simple idea, then you get bored working on that. You don't have the necessary passion to continue working on that idea, or even the market doesn't accept your idea and there is no space for your idea in the market. So there are a lot of things that could come up along the way that makes you stop working on your idea. But anyway, after a couple of months, I finally launched my startup a few months ago. And basically this is Flowyboard.com. It's a tool to create animated flowcharts and diagrams and animated boards basically. So it's somehow similar to Excalibur.com. I'm pretty sure you have seen some videos about that. Basically, you can create all kinds of flowcharts, you can connect them. It's really nice to present your ideas to, if you want to create a YouTube video, if you want to share your ideas. Excalibur is a very great tool to do that. But then I came across some videos like ByteByteGo. It has a lot of amazing videos about technical stuff, but the animations that the videos have are really amazing. But to come up with those kind of animations, which is not really easy, you need to use some animation tools like After Effects or Adobe Illustrator, and you need to combine them to come up with the final animation. So a few months ago, when I was watching these kind of videos, I was trying to find an easier tool to create this kind of animations, and I couldn't find anything. And it wasn't really easy to create this kind of animation. So that was basically the idea I came up with. I wanted to come up with a tool to create animated flowcharts really easy, really fast and quick. And it wasn't only that. So I wanted to create a tool for presentations. For instance, if you want to create a YouTube video, and if you want to present something, if you want to talk about your experiences, if you want to talk about financial tips, if you want to talk about, a book. A few weeks ago, I created a video about atomic habits, and there I explain how you can create your own habits and how you can be a better version of yourself based on atomic habits. But the way I presented atomic habits and all the lessons in that book, I came up with a flowchart with the tool I built, Flowyboard.com. So it made it a lot easier, first of all, to present the idea, and second, it was much easier to show the idea for the viewers to understand it. I have a question from you. So what would you do if you want to create a presentation, if you want to present something? It could be a seminar, it could be a presentation for a school or your university, even it could be just simple presentation for a YouTube video. it could be in different things, or even if you want to create a course and you want to explain the steps you want to teach, what would you do? So we have a couple of tools to do that. First of all, Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides are really famous, and we usually use those tools to have some slideshows, and it's really good for presentations, and it's more for formal presentations. Well, you could have animations there as well, but it's really difficult to come up with animated flowcharts. And the problem with Google Slides or PowerPoint is that it's based on a slide. So, well, it's great for a lot of things. You can use slides and even for more formal ways. But when it comes to just exploring things, when you want to just move around and look at different things, it's not really easy to do that. But the other tool you have, it's like excalidraw.com, which is really amazing, and it's basically an infinite board that comes with a lot of basic shapes and tools, and you can create your own flowcharts. But the problem with that is that, first of all, it doesn't support any animations, and second, the problem is that the styles and the theme it has are really basic, and it's not that flexible to modify them and to change the colors. There are a limited list of colors there, for instance. But it's a really great tool, but as I said, when you want to create some animations, it's not that easy to do that. So you need to use some animation tools like After Effects or Illustrator and combine them to come up with the animations you want. But you first of all need to know how to work with those tools, and first of all, it takes a lot of time to come up with that kind of animation that, for instance, ByteByteGo creates all the time. So if you just want to present something and you want to have some nice flows and some animations, and you just want to share your ideas and experiences, you just need to have a really quick tool to work with. So that was basically the idea I had, because I used to create all kinds of these animations and these flowcharts and these diagrams for different videos, but it was really difficult for me to add them some animation and motion. But with the tool I created, Flowyboard.com, now it's much easier for me to do this kind of videos. This presentation, I created this like in maybe I think 15 minutes. It didn't take that much time from me to come up with this. Even if you take a look at the other video I created about Atomic Habits book, that animation, if you want to come up with that animation like with an animation tool, that's going to take a couple of days from you. But I created that board, that flowchart in like a couple of hours. So this was basically the idea I had in mind. So there are a lot of pros and cons for each of these tools. For instance, we have also draw.io. It's also really famous to create flowcharts. It supports a lot of shapes, a lot of flows. But the problem again with that is that it doesn't support animations. At least it has very limited sets of animations that you can come up with some sort of plugins. But the good thing about it is that it's good for more formal things, and especially if you want to print them out on paper. Also for excalidraw.io, as I said, it's really easy to work with, and it comes with a really nice theme. But when it comes to animation and when it comes to flexibility, it's not that good. On the other hand, we have Flowyboard.com, which is really great for doing animations, but it comes with a lot of limitations. For instance, you need to have a really powerful CPU or GPU on your computer, because it's doing the rendering at the same time. And it's not like that you create your animation and then save it as MP4. As you browsing around, as you exploring around on the board, it's rendering everything. And this is what we want. So we have the animation, and also we want to go to different blocks. But, well, it comes with a lot of limitations. This was basically my idea. And I hope you will start using this tool and give me some feedbacks, because it has a lot of bugs. I'm working on it every day. It's not really easy when you are married, when you have some responsibilities, when you have a full-time job. So first of all, I just want to come up with a really nice product. Then I can think of ways how to make money of that. I haven't thought about it, but my first step is to just complete the product and to see even if it's really something great for people to work with or not. Okay, so I hope you start working with that and give me some feedback. I'd like to know your opinion about this. I'll come with more videos about my experiences as a developer, as well as, entrepreneur creating my own tool or my own startup. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I see you soon. For now, bye bye.